That's dumb. It's silver or chrome, stainless, whatever you want to call it. I definitely don't want that. That looks stupid. This week I'm installing a new reverse osmosis system in the tiny house. We've been battling with water quality for a little while since we moved to the new property and drilled the well. There's a lot of iron, there's a lot of hard minerals, things that you just generally get with a well system. So to originally combat this, so the big issue was the iron. It was just a ton of iron, and it was staining the sink and staining the tub right away. So we had to solve that problem like super fast. So what I did was I got a 3 cartridge RV system, and that has a micron filter, a carbon filter, and specifically an iron filter. I have no idea yet how long those filters are going to last. They're supposed to last somewhere between 6 and 12 months, but with the amount of iron we have, I wouldn't doubt if we only get about 3 months out of them. But that didn't solve the drinking water quality. So it was still very hard, minerally, just didn't taste that great. So we always had this pitcher filter. I think it was BWC or BWB, Better Water something. And it did a decent job of making the water taste a little bit better, but it doesn't have that crisp, clear, mountain stream water flavor that you want for drinking water, right? Still doesn't even taste as good as bottled water. So we're trying to solve that now. I'm going to put in a reverse osmosis system. And in order to do that, well, not in order to do that, but as part of this project, I'm going to take out our garbage disposal. When we moved to this property, we didn't put in a septic system. We put in a gray water system, so we can't grind up our garbage, our food scraps anymore and send it into the gray water system, because it would clog it up and it would get full of bacteria and everything. So first thing I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna remove the garbage disposal, and then I think it's on Monday, the reverse osmosis system is gonna show up. And one other thing I have to do is the garbage disposal switch. I made a mistake when I wired the house. I should have run hot to the undersink plug and then run a switch lead up to here, but instead I ran the hot up to here and then just continued the switch lead down to the undersink. And so both plugs under the sink are switched. So what I'm gonna have to do is rewire that switch so that it's constant hot, and then I'm going to put another receptacle in there to replace it, just because we don't want to put a blank plate in there or anything like that. So let me show you what I'm working with for replumbing this. So these are the parts that I'm going to use for the removal of the garbage disposal. Right now, the way that it's plumbed from the garbage disposal, I need to replace the drain assembly. And right now, the drain assembly is stainless or chrome, which doesn't match the black tap or the black faucet. So I went ahead and got a black drain assembly. This one's from Cone. The reverse osmosis system that we purchased didn't have a black faucet either. So I bought this one from Amazon. It's Frizz Life. It says stainless steel, which kind of freaked me out, but I did open it up and it is black. And then some of the plumbing parts I'm gonna need. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need all of them. Hopefully I don't need anything else, but I tried to kind of plan it out. Okay, now that I got everything unboxed, I'm gonna have to get under the sink and clear out, all the chemicals and things that you store underneath the sink, or I shouldn't say chemicals, but all the cleaning materials and all that stuff. Cleaning supplies. That's the word I was looking for, cleaning supplies. I'm gonna get that cleaned out, and then we can start disassembling the garbage disposal and get it pulled out. We had some leaking from our garbage disposal a while back. And that was kind of a pain. So I am going to first loosen these so that we have a little bit of adjustment. Anyone who hasn't done kitchen sink plumbing before, this is a not super fun experience. Usually you get some nasty smells and some nasty kind of chunks and stuff in those P-traps. All right, so I have the tubing disconnected, power disconnected. Let's see if this just spins off. Nope, I'm gonna have to go grab a hammer and just knock this right here, and that'll loosen it, and then we can pull the rest off. All right, so I got the old drain pulled out. This is still needs a little bit of wiping down, but nice and clean. I'm gonna maybe use my fingernail and kind of get some of this stuff off, but it's nice and smooth, so I'm not worried about it mating with the new rubber gasket seal. So that'll drop right in there. Nice. And then this rubber seal and paper seal and the spin-on ring will go underneath. So this is my new down pipe. So I unscrew this. There's a little black rubber washer. That'll go in the down pipe. And that goes on there. Just gonna hand snug everything for right now. And we got our existing yuck. So here's where a trap looks. So I'm gonna swing my trap over. So you can see this little bulge right here. That's where the down tube can end. So make a quick mark. I'll make it just a tiny bit above because I don't want to totally bottom it out. And then we'll cut the down tube to that size. All right, I was able to really easily cut that with my razor knife. Loosen that, get it started. Gotta get my seal on there, gotta be smart. So you got this little rubber plastic seal. Get that down in there. And all this stuff kind of has to rotate a little bit to get a nice straight fit. Make sure that everything fits on here real nice and straight. Don't want anything cross-threaded, and I don't want any gaskets pinched. You'll notice here I have this Studer valve. I didn't put any vents in the house. Number one, because with the Iron Eagle trailer, I didn't have any way of transitioning from the floor to the wall. And I have a window right above it. It was more complex to run venting. So I just put a Studer in here, and it seems to work pretty good. Sometimes things drain a little bit slowly, but not the end of the world. So I'm gonna grab some channel locks and just tighten this. All right, there we have it. Matching black finish. Been waiting a couple of years for that. So this is with the strainer in the stopper position. So it holds water. And the drain position. Drains real nice and fast, which I like. That's Studer valve. I originally had an OD valve in there, and I replaced it with a Studer last week, and the Studer works so much better. All right, next step. Installing the faucet. That's where she goes. I think it looks pretty good. All right, let's look at the instructions here. Let's see. Faucet fixture, rubber, hand fixture. All right. Guessing that's this. That's dumb. It's silver or chrome. Stainless, whatever you want to call it. I definitely don't want that. That looks stupid. All right, well, luckily, I'm not installing the RO today. Oh, in case you were interested, this uses these little push-on fittings, which are pretty cool, and it comes with a bunch of different adapter sizes, so no matter what size tubing your RO system is, this will fit. Darn it. All right, well, I'm gonna just hand tighten it on with the stupid chrome piece, and then I'm gonna call the company and yell at them and make them send me a black one. Okay, now that the plumbing part of it is done, it's time to work on the electrical for this switch outlet. So like I said before, I'm gonna take the switch out and I'm gonna hardwire the outlets that are under the sink, and then I'm gonna add an outlet here. So I'll probably move the light fixture switch over one space. First thing, turn off the power. All right, power's hooked back up. Time to go flip the breaker. All right, so that's pretty much where we are at this point. I'm gonna call the Frizz Life company and get a black washer sent to me so that it looks proper. And I normally have Mondays off, so luckily when the RO system shows up on Monday, I'll have enough time to actually get it installed and hooked up, so we'll pick it up from there. As promised, about a week later, it's Monday now, the Waterdrop G2 reverse osmosis system has finally showed up, so let's open the box and see what we got inside. Here it is, all laid out. Got the main Waterdrop filter system. supply hose. One of those is drain, one of them's faucet, and that's our drain coupling, a little bit of Teflon locking pins or locking connectors, and our instruction manuals. So I'm gonna get under the sink again and get this install started. Okay, so step one is gonna be to install the water feed hose. And then step two is going to be install the faucet, but we already did that, so all we're going to do is follow the steps for hooking the faucet line into the faucet itself. First step is going to be hooking into our cold water line, kind of a crescent wrench, and this has a little arrow that it gets installed up like this, or that's the direction of flow, I should say. Making sure to close this valve so when I turn that water back on it doesn't flood us down here. Now they come with a few different adapters, so if your water line is different sizes, it has these adapters on it. Mine is the smaller size, I can't tell you what it is, maybe 3/8. So the first thing we're gonna do is turn the valve off, and then I'm gonna grab a little Tupperware to go underneath, because I know there's gonna be a little water drip. Alright, so earlier I showed you when we did the Frizz Life faucet thing that it came with these 3 adapters, so I'm going to open them up and pick the adapter that works for this hose. It looks like this one is the right one. Fingers crossed. So there's these black lines on the tubing. So you want to push the coupling all the way in until it bottoms out. And then they have these little locks that slide in like that, and that keeps the tubing from coming loose. So this is gonna slide on there like that, and then I'll put another lock on it. But because that doesn't fit, I am gonna have to put this back on, and I'll thread the nut back on, washer from the bottom side, and then I'll pop this on and install one of these little locks. So we have 2 out of our 3 hoses hooked up. Got our water supply line and our faucet line. Now we're going to work on the drain line, which is going to drill in right here with a 1/4 inch hose. 1/4 inch drill. Hey there, Belle. What are you doing? You gonna be my worker? Next step is going to be to put this drain saddle on, and they say put on the vertical part of the tubing. Obviously, you want it to be before the trap, because you don't want any sewer gases backflowing into this drain tube. Now, the problem with putting it up high like this is when water drips out of this drain tube, it'll drop into the trap and you'll hear this whoop, whoop, whoop. So you want to kind of make it a bit low. Even, I don't want to put it here because I don't want it to be below. This is my highest water point here. So I want it to be above my highest water point. So I'm gonna mark it right here. I'm gonna mark about that high. And then I'm gonna drill it from the back side so that the tube exits backwards and I don't have to deal with it wrapping around the front here. gonna take my knife and kind of scrape that flat so we get a nice clean mating surface. This is my SOG Aegis. It needs a lot of cleaning right now. It's opened a lot of boxes. Done a lot of work like this. Great knife though, large size, axis lock, nice and lightweight. It's my everyday carry. Okay, that feels good. So this tubing, it's going to go through this, so unscrew this here. So this is going on the back side, and then this drain tube is going to push through into the drain line, and we want it, they say to have it go through like 5/16, which is kind of an obscure number, but I'm going to mark that on the tubing so I know how far to push in. Okay, got my second line there, so once it pushes through into the tubing, it sticks out. It actually says 0.6, so 0.6 of an inch. So I'm gonna go ahead and push that through like that, and I'm gonna put my blue lock back on there. And then I'm going to feed that red line So now we have our 3 lines installed. Time to set the unit in, get the lines hooked up. That's what the unit looks like installed, but I'm gonna pull it back out so that I can get all those hoses connected. And I'm gonna probably cut some of the hoses because they are really long. I'm just gonna cut them long enough where when I have the unit completely out, that's their longest tension. All right, so hook up. The larger water feed hose goes right in the center. Push it all the way in. Our red line to our waste goes here. And then our faucet line, it's marked F, goes in here. And then each one of those is gonna get its own washer, or clip. Locking clip, I should say. So as I pushed that in there, I made sure that none of my hoses were kinking too bad. I think we're ready to plug it in, but let me make sure what the manual says. Turn on the cold supply valve and check for leaks. So we'll open this up. Like that. All right, let's see, do we have any leaks? Don't see any leaks there. Don't see any dripping water anywhere. I think we're safe to plug it in. Insert the power plug into the supply socket. Apparently we will hear a beep. Yes, we do. Oh, I hear water going. Filter indicators will flash blue, purple, and red and turn on. They stay blue for 3 seconds. Turn on the faucet to let the water run for 30 minutes. All right, and we do that until this goes permanent blue. All right, everything's installed and the flushing cycle has been complete. Time for the first taste test. I think this particular model said it did a cup every 10 seconds. I think this is probably 12 to 14 ounce cup. So it does take a little bit of time, but that's the trade-off for not using a tank system. All right, here goes nothing. That was good. You wanna try it?
Yeah.
Come on over. All right, first taste test. See what she thinks.
Much better.
Good? Yeah.
I mean, I just ate, so. But if I was just eating it and trying this water, it would have a weird flavor before, and it doesn't now. Yeah, once my normal taste comes back, I'll have to try it again. But it definitely doesn't have any funky flavors, which is a really good thing. It doesn't smell like anything, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have any weird color to it.
Yep. Nice and clear. All right, that does it for the install of this Waterdrop filter. Right now they're having sales on these units anywhere between 10 and 15% off. So if you want to take advantage of that discount, go ahead and click on my affiliate link down in the description below. And like always, like, subscribe, do all the great things that great YouTubers do, and we'll catch you next time.